I first began creating wood pieces at a very young age. I probably carved my first piece when I was 9 or 10.
Woodworking, it's personal enough that I'm showing my creative whims. It's something I do want to share with everyone.
Koa is the basis for just about everything that I do. In this state, Koa is king, and that's what people want.
There's a huge renaissance of the Hawaiian culture.
The word koa is not only this tree. Koa is also the Hawaiian word for warrior. And it's interesting in that it's like a chicken and egg situation. What came first? The fact that this is like the stalwart, the toughest, biggest tree in the forest, and therefore a warrior can be compared to the koa tree, or the idea that the fierceness and the steadfastness of a warrior is embodied in this tree. Koa was valued for its hardness and resilience in voyaging canoes, but for the artisan, Koa is just an amazingly beautiful wood as well.
Some of the different types of wood that I like to use are very rare. People say I'm spoiled because of the access that I have to the woods. There's a wood called uhi uhi. There's a wood called kawila. The wood is so dense of those particular pieces that it won't float. I started meeting with a bunch of Native Hawaiian artisans at Bishop Museum. We meet lunchtime on the Great Lawn, and we teach students and learn from each other, and it's really a great association. That was a start for me. I took a class from Andy Cole at Woodcraft. That was my first experience turning on a lathe, and it was quite exciting. I still have the first bowl I made. The Renaissance movement in the past decades has been incredible, because at one time many of the teachers would not offer to teach. It was just tight-lipped, very hush-hush. Today, even non-Hawaiians can learn how to make things because it's so open, and I think that's the beauty of the Renaissance. I do feel a connection with my kupuna, or my ancestors. What an incredible skill base they had in order to make what I'm making with so few tools.
The koa wood that I work with comes from all of the Hawaiian Islands, but predominantly from the Big Island. This piece right here is a very nice piece. It tells me a lot just looking at it in this light. But what really tells me a lot is when I do something like this. And now I can actually see what that wood is going to look like just about when it's finished.
It's fine-grained, it works readily, it takes a brilliant polish, and then the look of koa, anywhere from a sheet of golden brown to amazing undulations of light and dark that change as you turn the wood. It's called curly koa because the wood undulates, and there are what look like knots in it with rings and swirls of light running through it, but when you feel it, it's perfectly flat.
This is how I figure out what a table is going to look like. And there you have a tabletop. You all of a sudden can see what a beautiful thing that can be. This is a nice piece to show you in conjunction with this. Now this is going to be a dining room table, but there's going to be a lot of nice wood left over from this project. So what do I do with it? I can do something like this. make a small project out of it. This basically has the same components as that, but just a much smaller scale. And a very practical little piece. One of my pet peeves is being called a master, which is ridiculous because a master knows everything and has control of everything. I make mistakes all the time, but I like that because it teaches me to, first of all, correct them, but it also teaches me to maybe go in a different direction, which I normally wouldn't do unless I made that mistake.
My father had always been a hobby woodworker, so I'd grown up watching him work with wood, and I just gradually came to the idea that furniture was the thing for me. When I saw the exhibition, you know, a light went off in my head. Oh wow, people actually do this for a living. I'm always making something people can use, whether it's a box or a stool or a chair or a table. That's always my first consideration, because I could use my creativity as much as I wanted. My most recent commission, which I'm just about to finish, is a cat footstool. In other words, the stool has cat legs for legs and cat feet for feet, and the model for this was our darling cat Sumo. I prefer smaller pieces. Small is a kind of a relative word. I really enjoy making chairs and footstools. There's a lot of flexibility in the design for stools and chairs that can be toyed around with, and endless variations can be made. Wood is a wonderful medium to work with. In 2002, when I was looking for a shop space, Alan invited me to share his shop with him, which has worked out incredibly well. He's a friend and a mentor, and it's the best of all possible worlds in the sense that we can bounce ideas off of each other. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Woodworking has given me a remarkable opportunity to learn from the past and my kupuna. However, the greatest blessing is passing on this knowledge to my children and students. This is my legacy to the future, really. I'm still investigating the boundaries, if there are any, of what I can do, and learning new techniques all the time. I think it's the kind of work and the kind of passion that has no end limit. There's no retiring from woodworking.
It is a blessing, after 43 years in the same profession, to get up in the morning and really want to come to work.